All right. So let's talk about something else. Let's have a real conversation, right? And this conversation is not going to be easy to talk about, but it's very necessary if we want to make leadway and get to the bottom of a lot of this trauma that we keep passing down to our kids. It's like we just smearing shit all throughout the generations. Like if you step in dog shit and just be walking around the house and contaminating all the floors and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm talking about how some women, and we all know one, or two or three, how some women lie about the true identity of their children's fathers. And I know this might be a tough subject, and I'm not pointing any fingers, but hear me out. This isn't just a personal issue that I've had. It's a community issue, and it's hurting more than just the individuals involved because the children have a disconnection from who their true heritage is. Most of them go half of their lives, if not their whole lives, thinking that this man is their father, named after him, and he's not their father. It's almost like doing the same thing that was done to our ancestor when I said they had their names and their identities taken from them. And when women choose to withhold who the child's father is, that's doing the same thing. Now you see how the propaganda just keeps on going. When a woman lies about who the father of her child is, it does more than just create a conflict between the two people. It creates chaos in every fabric of our community. And I want you guys to just think about this real quick. If me and you are already up against systemic changes and challenges, historical traumas, discrimination, lack of resources, whatever, you name it. So when we allow lies and dishonesty about parent or parentage, we allow those things to fester and grow like mold, it feeds into the division within our own ethnic group. And you can agree or disagree with me. I'm speaking firsthand. And trust me when I say that only makes it easier for the outside world to continue to tear us apart. Because when you don't stand for something, you fall for everything, right? That's a true statement. Malcolm X said it. And he wasn't the first one. And he won't be the last one to say it. I just said it. Now, our culture, our race, we thrive on community. We thrive on knowing who we are in the first place. We thrive on knowing where we come from. And then the legacy that we carry forward is important. So when families break down like this, it creates confusion for our children about their true identity, their true heritage, their true lineage. It robs them of knowing both sides of the heritage. And this doesn't just affect one family. It affects an entire generation of children who are left to navigate a fucked up version of who they are. Then they go marry and have kids, spreading the bullshit even further, right? And it's not just about one child or just one family. This is about our race. This is about who we are. This is about our people, our entire ethnic group who's losing a sense of unity. Hold on one second. Aiden, who making that noise? Okay, all right. So when we are divided like this, and we're divided from within, everybody else can just pick us apart and marginalize us. They can label us as disjointed or broken people or a confused people or a toxic group of people. And it's not just about the lie itself that women spread, right? It's the message that it sends to our children about trust. It's a message that they send to our children about identity. It's a message that they send to our children about relationships. And we're already in a battle, whether it's for equal rights, better opportunity, or just basic respect, trying to make a living and thrive. And the last thing we need is to be fighting each other, man and woman, from the inside out. Now, these lies got to stop because they create generational traumas that I keep talking about. Kids grow up without knowing who their fathers are, without knowing the full history, without knowing the full story, which leads to emotional scars, intellectual scars, not stars, scars. Now, the kind of emotional disconnection that affects how the children view relationships and how they see their children growing up and how they interact with the world around them is all based on how us as parents, as elders, teach them the information. And when you break apart the family structure through lies like that early, it chips away at our strength as a collective group. We doing bad. Our ancestors, they didn't just fight for equality and freedom from, the outside world. They had to fight within. The family dynamics was just thrown apart. So they had to fight to try to preserve our culture and pass it down to the next the best way that they could. And all of this bullshitting that we're doing and breaking away the trust and things like that. It's like we're letting go of that fight. We're losing the connection that makes us strong as individuals and as a community. And the unity that gives us power, which is in numbers. We don't have that. We are divided. And you know what they say about being divided? Together we stand, divided we fall. So look, let me put this real quick. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not pointing a finger. I'm just trying to figure out how can we heal beyond this. Because this is about healing. It's about recognizing that this is not just a problem between man and woman, but this is a problem between children, their friends, the connections that they build outside of our family home. All of this is messed up. It causes us to be isolated as individuals. It's systemic, and and we need to take responsibility for our roles in changing this. All of us. We need to prioritize telling the truth and being honest with each other, especially when it comes to our children and our identities, if nothing else. Because our children, they really deserve to know the full picture. You know, where is it that I come from? Who am I and what legacy am I to carry forward? Why did you name me this? What is my last name about? Like a lot of us can't even answer those things. And our children, they deserve this type of clarity. They deserve this type of unity. They deserve to know both sides of, their father's side, their mom's side, and we have to be the ones to heal this divide and teach them that. And it's not just for the families, but it's for us as a race, as a culture, as a community. Now, if you agree with me in everything I'm saying, and if you believe that we can do better for the next generation, please just share this video and let's start having these tough conversations in our living room. Let's start having these tough conversations right here on this platform. And let's rebuild, because if we don't rebuild now, we'll keep losing the battle from within. And that's something we can't afford. And coming from a young man, I'm gonna just tell you like this: when we don't have that type of culture in the household and don't have that type of understanding of what we are, we start representing the block. We start representing that community, whether it's Blood, Chris, Vipes, Lords, GDs, whatever it is. We start representing those things because those type of things have a history. Those things you can tell where the gang started at and where the gang is trying to go and what the gang is about. That is attractive to young men and women who have no structure, who have no desire to move forward in life. Because when you go around that group of people that represents each other, that fight for each other, that defend each other, it's a family. So in the last video, I talked about us lacking culture, not having culture or not. The gang culture has become a part of our culture. That's our culture. And it's sad. So we got to do better. So let's choose unity.